Am I audible to everyone? Hello.
Hi.
Am I audible or is my voice like making or is it all right? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi.
Hi.
How is everybody? How are all of you guys? I never really got a chance to get your introduction before, like even in philosophy class, I wasn't able to the introduction. Hello. Hello. Okay. So it would be wonderful if you guys could introduce yourself since it's your first pranayam class and this is the first time I'm seeing all of you. And it's so wonderful to in fact see all of you. So brief introduction, like just your name or whatever you want to add, where you're from or why you joined the course, that would be good.
I'm
I'm
Ailey.
Katrina from.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's go one by one. Yeah. Who's going first?
I can go first.
Okay, yeah.
My name is Narenga. I live in London in UK. I'm a YTT 200 hours yoga teacher, and I'd love to come to the ashram in a few months. But so for now, because of the restrictions, I decided to do online and just, deepen the knowledge and remember all the little bits that I'm forgotten and just practicing really and deepen the knowledge. I'm really glad to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Who's going next? Katrina, yeah.
I'm Katrina. I'm from New Zealand. I've been doing yoga on and off all my life, but I'd just like to actually sort of get some more formal training around what I've always just been a student and just going to classes. So just looking to learn.
Awesome. Great. Elite, no, am I getting this?
It's Ailey. Okay. Yeah, my name's Ailey. I'm from the US, but I'm in Qatar right now. And I've done my 200-hour course and I want to teach here. So I'm doing the 300-hour course to hopefully like refresh myself. It's been a little bit since I've done it. So
awesome. Great.
yeah.
And fourth, we have Rupa. Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Namaste ji. Like I did my 500 hour from Himalayan Yoga Association. I have been practicing even after that, but at least with pranayama, I'm not so regular. So good that we have these classes, again to get in touch with, and I hope it will help me to be regular once again.
Oh wow, amazing. Great. So that's awesome. So with that, let's start today's session. Okay. So I'll just open the class. So back in next, just start observing your breath. Watching the natural flow as you inhale and as you exhale. And just briefly shift your attention to your body and make sure that your entire body is relaxed. And gently come back to the breath. And as you attain stability in your body and little bit in your mind, begin to deepen your breath so that your mind can relax further. Go for slow, long, and deep inhalation. Slow, long, and deep exhalation. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shanti. Exhale completely. And inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti. Join both the palms together in front of the chest and rub both the palms together. Keep them on your eyes and very slowly while blinking and looking at your palms, open up and namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. Today we have an introductory session on pranayama, what pranayama is, what we understand by pranayama. Okay, so guys can make notes also because there is a lot of theory that I'm going to cover today, which classes are going to be divided into few classes. 2 or 3 classes are going to be mostly the background, the theoretical understanding of pranayama, and that will actually be very helpful for you to proceed in your own practice. And in fact, even when you are introducing it to your students, it will be best if you can tell them prior to the practice what the practice is all about and what are the general instructions that they need to follow before they step into the main practices of pranayama. Okay, so if my voice breaks in between or if there is any issue you guys face, let me know. I will check what I can do about it, but it might happen in between. So let me know, okay, as and when you feel that. Okay. So it's the pranayam class. So let me write it down in the chat box for you, the right spelling. And then we are going to, from this spelling, we are going to break down this word and try to understand what this word is actually trying to say, you know. So Pranayama. Okay, pranayama. This is a term you must have heard very generally also whenever we practice yoga. We talk of asanas and pranayama. These are two things that generally are like very popular when we come to the practice of yoga. Okay, so let's dive directly into the meaning of pranayama. So there are two ways of dividing this word, prana plus ayam. Okay, I'll write both of them down for you. And next one is prana plus yama. Division is prana, Prana plus Ayama. Prana and ayama. Okay, and next division kind of the same word is prana, Rana plus Yama. Okay. And you will find the meaning of pranayama with both these words. Like in some books, you will find the first division, and in some books, you will find the second division. And both of them are very first because it is prana plus yama, which is the most general meaning of pranayama, which is something you will read everywhere. So control of second one, prana plus yama means control of breath or control of prana. Control of prana. Okay. And the first one that I have written, prana plus ayama. So this is the holistic meaning of the practice of pranayama, which is actually expansion of prana. So the first means expansion. This covers many more aspects in comparison to the second breakdown that I gave you. Okay. And I'm going to explain one by one. So even though I've read, so I'm going to explain the difference also next to you, even though in most you will find that they are interchangeable. Okay. So you can just write this down. Then we'll do discussion about what is being taught. Okay. So pranayama, whenever we talk of breathing exercises.
Darf ich es euch bringen? Wo seid ihr?
Can you guys just mute yourself?
Okay, gut, mach ich's. Gut. Du tust es in ein Kuvert und dann könnt ihr es gehen.
Yeah.
Gut, danke.
Priya, can you just mute yourself? Priya, can you just mute yourself? Or maybe I'll mute everyone. Mm. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So there is a lot of sound. Okay. Yeah. So see, let's come to first understanding prana. Okay. So prana is the life force, the vital force. So whenever you hear the term pranayama, we generally connect it with breath control. However, we are trying to expand the prana. What is the prana? Prana is the vital force in your body. And as an understanding of things, there are living and non-living things, right? Generally, we categorize a thing as living or non-living. But when you come to the Indian understanding of things, we believe that everything has energy, right? So, people buy particular stones and they say that if you are facing this issue, wear the stone. The energy of the stone is such that, it will change or control your anger or control whatever you are facing. So in Indian, when you see the Indian view on things, the division is not uh, on the basis of living and non-living. Our ancient yogis by the ancient yogis was that everything has energy. So if you go to a plant, your plants have energy, and if you wear certain have energy and the influence your everything has energy in it, and the energy that thing possesses actually inside that thing. So when you come to the Indian thought, there is no distinction between and non-living. Everything has energy. Some things have some things energy, and it is through the breath that we can actually regulate that energy. It's a very gross form. Just give me a moment. Okay, so sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, yeah. So I was at pranayam. Yeah. So yeah, let me get back. Okay, so pranayam. So as you see, the second meaning that we have written is mostly about what? The control of breath, right? The prana plus yama that I told you is mostly about control of breath. So yes, control of breath is a part of pranayam. However, it's not the entire meaning of pranayam. Why are we controlling the breath? That is very necessary for us to understand. Why are we trying to gain control over the breath? That is answered by the break that I have given to you, prana plus ayam, because we need to expand the prana in the body. That is why we are using the breath to control the prana. And it was the ancient yogis, those they were scientists, they observed their own body, their own breath, and they saw that how the vital force in the body is connected to the breath. So prana has various ways of manifesting in the body, and one of them is the breath, and it is actually the most gross form via which we can actually gain access to prana. Okay, so that is why now you understand the holistic meaning of pranayam, where we can say it is the control of the prana in order to expand the prana. Okay, so expansion of the vital force. So I was explaining what is prana, and I told you that everything in this world, in this entire cosmos, has energy in it. Okay, and that energy actually is prana. So be it any object that you see around you, it doesn't matter if it is living or non-living, there is some energy that the object will have, and that energy, when you feel it, sometimes we hold certain stones or we go to the temple, there is nothing extraordinary in the temple, right? It's just the energy that is produced in the temple or in the church, by constantly repeating certain words. So that energy you catch upon when you go in a church or a temple. So this energy is something we are talking about. So everything is capable of absorbing that energy. So in that temple, because a lot of mantras are repeated again and again, the stones catch that energy. So this is the level at which prana works. Okay, any doubts in the meaning of pranayam, what prana is? Any doubts? Okay, great. So let me move ahead and go to the next portion. So now when you will be practicing pranayam, there are certain things that you need to know. Okay. So as per Maharishi Patanjali ji, in philosophy classes also, we are going to cover Ashtanga Yoga, okay, or the 8-limbed yoga. So in that also pranayam is one of the limbs. Okay, so the fourth limb in the 8-limb process given by Maharishi Patanjali ji, the fourth limb is pranayam. After asana, he placed pranayam. Okay, and he gave his entire definition of pranayam. So it's not something that you see every day. Like we are going to be studying a lot of variations of pranayam. However, the meaning that Maharishi Pranayam practices, we are going to learn. So I will just give a very brief what he has talked of, because those are actually aspects of pranayam that you need to know about. When Maharishi Patanjali ji also discussed this, he said inhalation. He said inhalation is one pranayam. So inhalation, or when you know we also call this inhalation as puraka. Puraka. Okay, so this is the first aspect that you need to be aware of. Puraka or inhalation? Together. So exhalation. We also call it Rechaka. RE. So inhalation and exhalation is done. Then there is another aspect that is introduced, which is retention. Or Kumbhaka. K-U-M-B-H-A-K-A. Kumbhaka. And you know, this Kumbhak is divided into two parts. So I will also be using this a lot. So Antar Kumbhak. Or internal retention. So Antar, A-N-T-A-R. And Kumbhak spelling remains same. Or internal retention. And then we have Bahir Kumbhak, B-A-H-I-R. Bahir Kumbhak, K-U-M-B-H-A-K-A. Or external retention. Yeah, so these are the four aspects that you need to understand when we are talking of pranayama. So internal, first thing is inhalation. So the difference between normal inhalation and puraka is that when we are normally inhaling and exhaling, one thing we are not aware of the breath. Yeah. So puraka, whenever we use the term puraka, there is consciousness, that is, we are conscious, we are aware of the breath. Then the next thing which is very important when we're talking of puraka is that the breath is slow, long, and deep. Okay, all three characteristics will come in the breath: slow, long, and deep. Just a second. Okay, much better. Okay. And then when we are talking of Rechaka, same quality will come in. But now exhalation is the term that is used. So when we exhale, we are aware of the exhalation. It is slow, long, and deep. Okay. Let's come to retention. Yes. So Antarkumbhak, like retention, are divided into two parts. One is when you inhale, you hold your breath inside. Like after the inhalation has taken place, we hold the breath, right? And then we go into the process of exhalation. So this internal retention after inhalation, when you hold, this is called Antarkumbhak. And same thing goes with Bahir Kumbhak when you exhale out, right? When all the air from the body has been exhaled out, at that point of time, when you hold the breath again, when you put a pause in the breathing process, but now no air is in your lungs, that external retention is called Bahir Kumbhak. Okay. And the entire aim of pranayam is reaching Kevali Kumbha. So this is something even Maharishi Patanjali ji has talked of. I will write this down. Kevali. Kevali. This is a higher form of, as per Maharishi Patanjali ji, it is a higher form of pranayam, and the entire goal of pranayam is achieving this state. So right now, when we are starting as beginners, we will first prepare ourselves to even enter into the practice of pranayam. And when we enter into the practice of pranayam, we will very carefully introduce, retention in the practice. However, the entire goal of why are we doing this breath work, is because we want to reach a state where we are automatically in the state of kumbhak or retention. So that is what Kevali Kumbhak is. The Kumbhak that I mentioned before was after you inhale, you hold, and after you exhale, you hold again. So once again, it requires the inhalation and exhalation for holding. But there would be, after you have practiced for so long, there would be a point where you will get into the state of Kumbhak naturally. And that is actually Kevali Kumbhak is the aim of practicing pranayama. To achieve this, and you know why we have to achieve this, let me also tell you this. Why do we have to go through this entire process? You need to understand this thing is because when you are sitting in meditation, okay, so whenever you sit in meditation, you will experience that as you go deep, your breath will start disturbing you rather than aiding you or supporting you. There would come a point where you will go so deep that your inhalation and exhalation will start disturbing you. So when the yogis went very deep into meditation, they saw that the inhalation exhalation is actually becoming a barrier rather than helping them. So they introduced the practice of kumbhak, where they said that if you are able to practice kumbhak, you will not face disturbance in your inhalation and in your meditation. So inhalation and exhalation naturally suspend when you go into Kevali Kumbhak. And it comes after years and years of practice. Even the practices of pranayam which are being taught, because it is a part of your course, I will be covering a lot of pranayams for you guys. However, you will notice that after learning all of these pranayams, you will feel the need to, give each and every pranayam a lot of time, because it is very difficult just to master even the pre-practices of pranayama. Okay, so first few classes, I'm going to introduce certain pre-practices. So you're going to feel that even those pre-practices will take a very long time to master. After that, you can step into the process of pranayama, and after that, you will step into the process of retention. So it's really far off. However, a basic understanding, you need to set, your mind, what are you trying to achieve? So this is what you are trying to achieve. That should be very clear. Now, when I talk of pranayam, I'm actually talking about a very subtle level of your existence. Okay, so prana cannot be seen. And you will also see that even if you get your body scanned, you will see the arteries, veins, the bones, everything. Depending on how you're getting your body scanned, you'll be able to see everything. However, the pranic body cannot be seen. Okay, so if you get your body scanned, you won't be able to see the subtle energy channels that flow in the body. They are called nadis. Nadis. So when you're working on pranayam, you're working on a very subtle level of your own existence, and it is actually making sure that the energy that is flowing in the nadis is regulated. So like arteries and veins, nadis are subtle energy channels that are present in the body. And it is said that there are 72,000 nadis in the body. 72,000. 36,000 on the right side, 36,000 on the left side. Okay. And even in your philosophy class, I will be touching a little bit upon this. So the three main nadis you need to know, which are mostly, they are very important. So Ida, IDA, this is your left nadi, okay? Left nostril also we can say. Pingla, and then Sushumna. So IDA, Ida. Then Pingla is PINGALA, and Sushumna is SUSHUMNA. Sushumna. Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. So these are the three major nadis out of the 72,000 nadis. Okay. So this will become more relevant when I introduce certain pranayams. So you should know about these three. Okay. So let me come to the, like I said, pranayama is working on a subtle body. So I said pranic body. So let me introduce the concept of the Panchakosh, or five sheaths of the human body. It is a yogic concept. Yes. Okay, so there are, out of the 72,000 nadis, half, it's divided in half. Half are 36,000 on right side and 36,000 on your left side. So I was writing down the concept of Panch Kosha. Sorry. That was autocorrect. Punch is P-A-N-C-H-A. Punch. And then we have Kosha. K-O-S-H-A. So this is a yogic concept where our entire existence is divided into these 5 sheets. So these are just different dimensions that we experience of our own being. Okay. So first one is Anmay Kosh. A-N-N-A-M-A-Y-A. Anmay Kosh. Okay. So this is the external most layer that is present in the body, which is your physical body. We also call it the food layer because the survival of the body, this body depends on the intake of food. So you can easily see your body, right? The hands, the legs, arteries, veins are also present in the body. So all of these things, they require food to exist. And literally means food. So this is the food layer, external most layer. Then we have the Pranamaya Kosh. We are talking of pranayam, so this is the most relevant one for us. So this is your pranic body. So if you're making, how you can represent this is make a very big circle. So that is your Anmay Kosh, and inside that circle you make a smaller circle. That is your Pranmay Kosh. Okay. So we will make circles inside that. They are going to be 5 circles. So external most layer is the physical body. Then we go to the pranic body, where now from arteries to veins we have moved to nadis, and the energy flows in these channels, making sure that everything reaches, all the body functions are taking place. So if the body is nothing without the pran, right? So if the pran leaves the body, all the functioning in the body would suspend. So the blood that is flowing in the body, the functioning of the stomach, the lungs, inhalation, exhalation that is taking place, all is taking place due to the prana that is present in that particular portion of the body. Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss the 5 pranas also. But for today, we are just discussing the main concept of Panch Kosha. So second is your pranic body. So in pranayam, we work on the pranic body. Then we come to the Manomay Kosh. M-A-N-O-M-A-Y-A. Manomay Kosh. So we also experience this layer. So the mind, the emotions that you experience in your day-to-day life, some days a lot of thoughts are going on, some days you're very emotional. So all of this is going inside the sheath of the body. So it is more subtle than the pranic body. So you can make a circle inside those 2 circles. So this is your Manomay Kosh. Much more subtle than your Anmay and Pranmay Kosh. Mind is not as easy to capture as, all other things. through the breathing, even though we can calm down the mind, because there is a very strong connection between your breath and mind. So that is another very, this interlink was seen by the yogis, how breath and the mind are functioning together. If you're very calm, some days if you feel very calm, observe your breath. It will be in a very different mood. And some days when you have anxiety, or you are going through anger or some emotion, then see your breath. So it does have an impact on your breathing, but it is again a very subtle form of manifestation of our own being. Then we come to the next layer, which is your Vigyanmay Kosh. Vijnanamaya. Vigyanmay Kosh. So now make a very small circle inside all three circles. That is your Vigyanmay Kosh. And this is the layer which you must have experienced, of course. It's the intellectual body. After all the ups and downs that you go in through in your mind, there is a decision making faculty which is behind all of the actions that you do. And that decision making faculty is actually your intellect, and that is taken by this intellectual body. So the mind is different from the intellect. And then we go into a very deep, this body, this sheath is very close to the consciousness, or the concept of soul that exists. So this, all of these 5 layers are basically around this consciousness. So the bliss body, Anandamay Kosh. Anandmaya. Anandamay Kosh. This is the closest to the pure consciousness as we talk of it. And because it is so close to that pure energy, it is actually one of the, that is why it's called the bliss body, because it is so close to such a pure energy. So this is something you experience when you are in deep sleep. We won't be able to, we are not conscious when we go into the deep sleep, so we do not know this kosha very well. However, this is a very subtle form of manifestation, and it is generally talked of when we go into deep sleep, that this, you touch this kosh, you touch this part of your body. It's very relaxing and soothing. So when you go into deep sleep, that is the sleep you are aiming for. The entire sleep process, the going into sleep and coming out of sleep, is circled around your deep sleep. And it is actually even science. Okay, okay. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Am I audible to everyone?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so I was talking about, sleep and how the bliss body. So the entire sleep process also, if you will read about it, you will see that we take a lot of time to reach this point of deep sleep and to come out of it also. But the main quality of your sleep is in the deep sleep, right? So because of this quality of Anandmaya Kosh, so Anand means bliss. So that is when you are actually able to experience the relaxation. So if it doesn't matter how many hours your sleep is for, as long as you're able to experience deep sleep, it is good enough, right? So the quality of your sleep highly depends on your deep sleep. So Anandmaya Kosh is something you touch when you are in deep sleep. There are other explanations that you will also find related to Anandmaya Kosh. So this is the subtle body. And as you move to come to the gross body, now you can see as you come to your physical body, you are that much far away from the energy of the consciousness that I'm talking about, or the soul, right? So understanding that when you are doing pranayam, I just introduced this concept because you need to understand when you are doing pranayam, you're working on what? The pranic body. Okay. So you are coming from a physical level to a more subtle level, but there are many more layers that exist within that also. That other portions of the Ashtanga Yoga or other portions of the, other practices of yoga will cover. Okay. Any doubts in any of this? No? All well? Okay. So after today, I think all of you have gotten a very in-depth understanding of what pranayam actually is. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to cover other general rules that we need to keep in mind before we step into the practices of pranayam. Right? So tomorrow, I think so. Back and next, gently close your eyes. Just watch your breath. All this information to go in, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just feel the vibration. Join both the palms together in front of the chest and rub both the palms together. And keep them on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms. Open up your eyes, come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. I will see you all tomorrow for your philosophy class at 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Yeah. So bye-bye and have a great day.
Thanks. Namaste.
Namaste.